Welcome back to the Culturally Distinct Podcast. Your boy DJ KO. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show, man. I'm glad you guys tuned in. It's the new year, new gear, new understanding, new knowledge, man. You know how we do it up here. We doing it like we never left it in 2024. We're doing the same in 2025, man. Before we get started with our show, I'd like to thank 605 Adult Beverages for the sponsorship. Also, Red Core Universe. Much love to you guys for hooking your boy up. Y'all been shooting us on Tubi. Y'all been shooting us on Roku, man. Look, we just look. We were a small town. I said a small town hero, man. Just being introduced to the world, man. So that's what we've been doing. So, man, appreciate you guys for hooking your boy up. Much love. Anybody else that wants to sponsor your boy, man, look, we open to a lot of ideas, man. You know, we like to partner with a lot of people, and especially in the city of Houston, we see you guys out. A lot of you guys show love, man. Much love to that, man. I appreciate you guys for the love. I have a special guest. You know, I always bring up some special people up here on the show, but this particular individual, he's doing something major, not just in the social world, but in the community, where he's not just highlighting individuals, but he's giving them their roses while they're here. So I'd like everybody to welcome to the show, Mr. 40, should I say Mr. 40, no, I don't want to say that. I'm going to use the government first. Then we're going to get into it.
We'll do it, man.
All right, I'm going to say Alan Thornton.
Come on.
Shout out. What's up? What's going on,
I
Alan?
answer to both.
What's going on, brother?
Man, just everything's everything. Living life every day. I'm blessed to be here and blessed to have the opportunity to do something great every day.
Absolutely, man. So look, what you prefer? Me calling you Alan?
It depends on what we're doing, man. We're at the 40 Acre Conference. Mr. 40 Acre is good.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a book signing. If I'm in a boardroom, whatever, it works. I was watching.
Where you from originally?
So I'm originally from Fort Bliss, El Paso, Texas. So
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a military kid.
Yeah. So my family is military. I did not go. I wanted to go, but I'm my only child, and my mom during that time in early mid 2000s, my mom was like, nah, because you ain't gonna come back.
Right.
And a lot of people some of my friends, a lot of them didn't come back.
Yeah.
It was crazy during that time. But yeah, so my mom.
Good thing, man, because now, like you mentioned God, and you understand the spiritual side of things. You know, sometimes you have warfare when it comes to something that's about to be successful.
About to be great, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, in 2000, right before, so this is after my second conference,
Mm-hmm.
and people don't understand the value of this, and I'll wrap this up in a pretty bow, but I was actually a volunteer at a conference, and I wasn't supposed to talk about faith and alignment and where you're supposed to be. I remember I launched these manifestation shots, and I had the opportunity because there was no one else there. I knew the production guy. So Master P was there. Romeo was supposed to speak right before him.
His son.
And Eric, and then Eric Thomas was going to speak after him.
Okay.
Romeo couldn't show up. His flight was delayed or something. Happens a lot in Houston, even right now it's cold. And they were like, man, how are we going to fill this spot? And I always dress to show up, right? I'm in a suit, got a nice hat on, look like, who was he? The producer knew I could speak. She's like, hey man, can you fill this slot? Yeah, I can fill this slot. So I got to open up for Eric Thomas.
Oh, wow.
Which was crazy.
Oh, wow,
right?
wow.
Now, I had, the night before, I get these visions and people are like, hey, you're crazy. And then a lot of successful people will start to get the feeling of things that are going to happen before they happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the art and the science of that is called manifestation.
Okay.
So I created these manifestation shots, and the night before I said, I got the vision of, hey, right, that small, still voice, some people call it the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Right? Be ready. Tomorrow.
Okay. Be prepared. Yeah.
Prepared. So I had a box of these manifestation shots. And before, I used to give them out for free as a promotional thing. I brought one for you too. As a promotional thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know how to price it, but it had a QR code, right? Because I would go and maybe sell tickets to my conference. I opened up for Eric Thomas. And after that moment, I remember people chasing me in the parking lot because the first thing Eric Thomas talked about, and the reason why I bring this up is you said before something good happens, there's some warfare that happens.
Yes.
And I put this quote in my book. Eric Thomas says, before you go up, everything will blow. Never forgot that. And then he talked about manifestation. Right after I did my manifestation shots. And people associated that with the same thing.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh man, how do I get one of those manifestation shots? Grew up, I was a JC fan. And, you know, one of his came out, Reasonable Doubt came out, Blueprint. I used to hustle and sell CDs too. But the Blueprint is really a blueprint. Like if you listen to the words in the album and how he talks about specifically, like things about art.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you how I did. And it tells you, like, art is something that is a lost art in what we do. And that's, if you look at our awards, what we do at the 40 Acre Conference, we made sure that each award and custom art piece we do, because I make them by hand, they increase in value.
Oh wow! So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into the conference. We're gonna get into the conference because I saw some of the trophies that you give out and how they're the design of.
Or the trophies, man. They're custom art piece. Art like trophy is. A lot of people get trophies, but custom art piece. I launched it at Art Basel actually in Miami.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah,
Did you go this year?
This year I didn't go.
I did. I go every year. I've been going every year for like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Art Basel. I had
something with my daughter this year, and this is like the last. So she turned 10. So now I'm gonna start taking her with me every single year.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope, and you meet some great people, man, from across the world that are super creative and super talented. Not just with the pieces that they have that they bring there, but their mind. You just talk to them. It's like you talk to a person that's very creative. They have like the most unique perspective on just different topics, and it's not just with the conversation, but the music. Like I was at a set with a DJ, and this dude was playing music, man. I never heard in my life. He was playing like a Afro Latino hip hop vibe beat. I never heard this in my life. I'm like,
it doesn't make sense until it does.
Right. He was like, what is that? And some DJs I was there with, it was like, I never heard that. He created his own song, but it was art, but it was music, but it was dope. So let me fast forward. How did you? I want to know how did you even get into the conference play? Because it's certain things that I want to do this. I want to DJ, or I want to MC, or I want to public speak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody says, man, you know what? I'm about to get in this conference game, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How you even got into the conference game?
Man, so it's a long, short story. I'll give you the short and long version. It's one being what you see when I was a kid. I was always a disruptive kid.
Okay.
Right? Not to say that I didn't get in a lot of fights. When I did, I got in a couple fights where, I busted this dude's head open with a PVC pipe. It sounds violent, but I was real small. And I was always taught, don't let anybody really mess with you.
Mm-hmm.
You mess with me forever. So everything, the culmination of a lot of it, I got kicked out of Boy Scouts for that, but, or else I would have been an Eagle Scout. But shoulda, coulda, woulda. Everything that happened in my childhood led me to starting that conference.
Okay.
So one of the things in the conference, and I talk about this, in my book. So I launched in Dubai. AI is the new Underground Railroad.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a copy here too for you. So
dope.
Yeah.
AI is the new Underground Railroad.
Man, let me show you. You shameless plug. Come
Let
on.
me see. All right, okay.
Yeah.
AI is the new Underground. That's dope.
Yeah.
So you tied in, of course, the Underground Railroad with Harriet Tubman.
Man, there's a lot going on. There's literally 40 different, just like my awards, like when you look and you stare at it on the wall, there's probably about 7 or 8 different elements and layers just on the cover.
Right.
Right?
I see a lot of...
And these are things, and these are receipts. When you go back, like, this is an actual award that I gave to a billionaire at my conference.
Okay.
Like, the actual award.
Wow, okay.
Right? You see, like, the blueprint, the Martin Luther King, because we do Martin Luther King, and I did the Juneteenth Hall of Fame, where I started with Sheila Jackson Lee.
Mm-hmm.
She ended up passing away. we're raising money for the Juneteenth Hall of Fame and selling bricks, gold bricks, right? And that's a whole nother thing because I grew up in El Paso, which, you know, is the drug capital of the world.
Right, absolutely.
So I used to promote for some of the cartels growing up, and that's a whole nother thing. And you asked me how did I get into the conference. So long story short, and we'll get back to the book, when I was told I would be dead or in jail by the time I was 18.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right, and that happens a lot. Unfortunately, it's like that's a crazy thing to tell a kid, or a prophecy to give a kid. It should be the opposite. But needless to say, I wasn't a bad kid. I didn't get in a lot of trouble. I was just disruptive. People didn't know what to do with me. Like I got good grades, but they're like, all your friends I don't understand. It was very valuable. He said, if you learn how to sell, you can sell more of your product if people can't get it.
Okay, make it exclusive, basically.
Make it exclusive.
Yeah.
People can't get it. I'm like, man, I'm selling CDs. I'm not pushing weight. So I worked at a grocery store. This is cool. So he taught me. He's like, let me show you. And he's like, this is when I was real young. Everybody, because my mom's beautiful, right? I remember seeing. I'll never forget this moment. I saw this and I was just like dumbfounded. Everybody has that moment where they see something that like they get that glitter in there. And for me, it was a Range Rover. Mm-hmm. And this was like Biggie times, right? Like 90s. So I was like, man, what do you do? And I always used to say, what do you do? Can I work for you?
Right,
this was like when I'm like 8 years old, younger than my daughter. And my mom got him in between us. And she's like, nah, you ain't
doing it,
You ain't doing that. And she made me promise, don't ever sell, don't ever push weight.
Don't do it. How did you get into conferences?
Long story short, so all of that, the culmination of all of that, we got off that, right?
Yeah.
Culmination of all that. So one of the things are that we do during our conference, and I didn't even know how to do it when we started, is I said, I'm going to find a way to turn around the throwaway kids and make them what I had the opportunity to become.
Okay.
Right? A productive member of society, and even more when somebody said you were just gonna. So we give out 500 laptops to underserved kids.
Okay.
We give them all the panels that we record, celebrities, government officials, whatever that is, we give them. So there's no excuse now, especially with AI. If you have a laptop, you can be anywhere in the world. If you have a product and you got hustle, you can keep the hustle. One of the things I learned from he was a kingpin in the 80s, Chef Jeff, if you know him. It's nothing new.
Right.
We just, we made some gumbo and took a little bit, okay, let me take a little JC, let me sprinkle a little culture in here. Let me, if you know who Russell Brunson is with ClickFunnels, he has those awards with the discs. Okay, let me take a platinum record. What's desirable to an African American person?
Yes.
Everybody knows what a platinum record is.
Absolutely.
Everybody kind of desires, even if they don't have the talent. I can't sing,
Right, a platinum record.
Right?
Yeah.
You put that in.
The symbolism of it.
You put some art behind it. People like history. You put Martin Luther King. You put all the 400 years of impression in one piece. The new thing is like augmented reality. How do you transform into another space? And I remember going to, you know who Steve Rogers is?
Yeah.
He owns Off the Record.
Yeah.
You've been there?
Yeah.
Okay, so
the records on the wall? Yeah.
The records on the wall?
Yeah.
I have that in augmented reality.
Okay.
So when people scan the record, not only do they see the physical space, but they can go wherever they are in the world and see everybody's name that's there. So they're in a museum.
Wow.
Right away.
Wow, that's dope.
Oh, dude, it's the dopest thing in the world.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So that's on the actual
record, yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Okay. Wow. So let's get to that. I want to get to that because I see that you're passionate about talking about it.
And that inspires, man, because be what you see. So if you see all these people that are getting this something that's desirable, damn, that's super dope. And then why did they get it? I do 100,000, $1 million, 10 million, 100 million, and then a Diamond Award, which is $1 billion.
Okay.
So they see people. I give them the recording, and I tell them what everybody does. So if you see that, you can't unsee it.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Yeah. Once you expose, it's like once you expose to something.
Once your mind's expanded, can never conform.
That's right, because now it's beyond whatever it is. That's why you can't tell a kid that has, like you spoke about earlier. You can't. If a kid has premonitions or manifestations in their mind, they see it. Yeah. You can't tell a kid you can't do something.
I've seen it.
Right, I've seen it. It can happen. It's like, no, you can't.
So another thing. So how did I get into the conference game? The conference game was never my business. I was in a fundraising business, and we built a 7-figure company doing that, and for a bunch of people that didn't appreciate it, right, and we got burned there later. But more importantly, in 2021, after I started getting this vision and everything, I wrote a bunch of books. I saw this meeting before it happened, but I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the centennial.
Okay.
The 100-year.
Yeah, Greenwood. I mean, not Greenwood, but the streets was Greenwood, Archer, and Pine, but
correct. Yeah.
Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
So I went there, and I found myself in a very small room, about 50 people, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I met a few people there, and I got the you get this. I got this vision that you're going to meet some people that are going to change the trajectory of what you're doing. During that time, I connected with Sheila Jackson Lee. I connected with a couple gentlemen, and this is before the sold out arenas. This is before the biggest conference in the world. I met, first of all, it was packed in there, and I asked this dude, this big dude, he looked like the bouncer, the security. I like, man, can I get in? He's like, I'm gonna let you in, but the rest is up to you. His name was Mike McDonald. And then I met Rashad and Troy. A lot of people know him.
Me now with the game.
Earn Your Leisure. Yeah.
Earn Your Leisure, I'm sorry.
Earn Your Leisure. Yeah. I met Hill Harper, who is all about if you're doing anything that's going to be progressive for the African American culture, he's all in. And he was one of my first speakers. So they talked about doing a conference.
Okay.
And a bunch of people looked at them like, man, you guys are YouTube. What do you know about a conference? 90 days later, they did a conference. It's the biggest conference debut ever. Like 4,000 or 5,000 people in Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow.
After seeing that, man, I can do this.
That's right. Yeah, that is true because
they changed the trajectory.
They did. It was during the pandemic, wasn't it?
During the pandemic, man.
Yeah, they did.
And it was just coming out where people were just coming. It would have been even bigger if it wasn't the pandemic.
Right.
So they were just and they did that. And after that, I said, man, I can do I've never done a conference anymore. I've done small workshops. I've done things in corporate. I left my job. I started this fundraising company. I was raising millions of dollars for people that didn't look like us, right? Which is good, but the impact wasn't there. So once George Floyd died, I said, look, there was a big thing, and this is why the name, the 40 Acre Conference, there was a lot of corporations saying, hey, it's cool right now to mess with black people, right? So I'm going to give $1 million, I'm going to give $100 million, I'm going to give $1 billion, I'm going to give 20. The numbers got ridiculous. And I said, man, because math is my best subject, but history is what I enjoy the most. I said, this ain't going to happen.
Right.
No way this is going to happen. This sounds a lot like 40 Acres and a Mule.
Correct.
Right? A great promise, great narrative after something tragic happens.
And it was never given.
It was never given. They're going to put a bunch of black folks, right, just like they did for 40 Acres and a Mule, the black ministers. They're going to put a bunch of black folks in charge of this.
Right.
Things are going to change. So the administration is going to change and it's all going to disappear.
Right.
Lo and behold, all of that happened less than 3 years. $300 billion was pledged to the black community.
Yes.
Guess how much was
given, allocated?
Guess.
Probably what?
Percentage. Give me a percentage.
Probably to the black community.
No, $300 to the black community.
Black, because I can say, all right. So the reason why I say that because you got minority and you got blacks.
This was just the black community.
So
remember how hot during the pandemic, George Floyd just died,
right? And
they said this is to the black community.
So out of 300 billion,
300 billion
would it be? They probably got
what percentage? Just give me a percentage.
Probably black, probably 0.01%.
It's a little more than that. It's about 3.2%.
The reason why I know that because I do financial literacy. Out of a $96 trillion budget in 2024, $96 trillion budget that the United States have. Minority companies only got 0.8% of that.
Correct.
And that's minority. That's not black. This is minority. That's everybody in one pot.
Same with VC funding.
Right? Yes. So the economic gap is so large, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. We're not even at the bottom. We like we the residue at the bottom when it comes to this economic structure. But to your point, I want to make this point while it's fresh. One of my good friends, she works in HR for a major company. It's like a Goldman Sachs, but it's not. It's not private, but it's a public company. But she said right now, during the George Floyd situation, she said right now is the best time to be black. She said because anybody black can get a job. They big on DEI, the diversity, equity, and inclusion. Mm-hmm. He's like it's the best time to be black.
That's just for the black people.
During that time, and she said, but the thing is, 3 years fast forward, done. It's over. You better hurry and get what you got to get. Why it's there, why it's hot, because once it's over, it's over. Oh. And she said the exact same thing you just said. But
I knew it was gonna, and I saw this and like, oh man, it's gonna be hot. Things are changing. I give 100. We do 100 honorees, and it changed. So I told you I met Sheila Jackson Lee. Mm-hmm. This is an incredible story because people's biggest obstacle is usually going to be the people close to you.
Okay.
It's usually, especially African American, we're like no other community. We're not like the Hispanic community. We're not like the Jewish community. We're not like the Chinese community. Black people are going to hate on you the most if you're trying to do good for black people, right? Which is crazy. I can remember sitting in Tulsa, Oklahoma, May 31st, 2021, the centennial. Sheila Jackson Lee is on stage doing an iconic speech talking about Juneteenth being a federal holiday, which it's not at this time. And I can remember brothers in the back saying, man, it's hard enough to get a federal holiday, but a black federal holiday, Juneteenth? Man, that'll never happen. 90 days later. Well, no. So we're in May. 60, it happened.
Yeah.
It happened, right? And I remember going up to her and I said, look, you don't know me, but I'm working on this 40-acre thing, because I didn't know what I was doing. I just had a dream and, I had to connect the dots. I'm working on this 40-acre thing. I want to do something in June. I know you're going to make this happen. And when you do, I would like to work with you.
Okay.
That's what she said. Okay. Want a picture? Right? Because everybody says all kinds of things.
Yeah, right.
Okay, you want a picture? Okay, cool. Take a picture. She probably thought she'd never see me again. I was calling her office nonstop. Hey, congratulations. Send all kinds of things. And she said, boy, what do you want? If you know Sheila, she's very direct. Right. She doesn't no nonsense. Why do you keep calling my office? And I said, remember, and I showed, because I take pictures with people intentionally, not just for clout, but for an initiative that I'm trying to move forward. And I said, on this day I talked to you, and this is what I said to you. And she's like, oh, I vaguely remember. You did Juneteenth. Some people didn't believe. Yeah, I've been working on this for a while. I know. And she's like, if there's no seat at the table, you bring a folding chair. And I said, with that same mindset, I'd like to do something that's never been done and create a Juneteenth Hall of Fame. And you know what she said?
What she said?
Let's do it.
Okay.
No hesitation. When you're with black people they're, and I don't know if it's something about Houston, but especially when we're in Houston, there are like most people when you try to do something that's like, I don't know, man. Damn, you what?
Yeah, it's a
you want to do what, man? Ooh, that same squirm.
Yeah. Like, I don't know about that.
I don't know, man. We ain't never seen that. Let me think about it.
Yeah.
She said, let's do it.
Like that.
Let's do it. We came out, we did the Juneteenth Hall of Fame, we did a ribbon cutting, and we honored some iconic, I'll tell you, going back to the format, but I wanted to tell you a story, going back to the format. We did some iconic, so I'd give 100 awards away, MLK. And then Juneteenth, we select 19 select honorees out of that 100 to be part of the Juneteenth Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And she helped me create that.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
On a roof tail. It was incredible. We did the groundbreaking ceremony and the ribbon cutting. It was on the roof of the post, and everything was incredible.
That is dope.
So we started to level up and go bigger. And one of the most, and I have this recorded, I'm one of the few people when I put this out. She did a speech in 2023 that's as iconic, and I put this, go on our page and see it. It's as iconic. Remember right before Martin Luther King died?
Mm-hmm.
He did the I Have a Dream speech.
Yes, absolutely. This
is as iconic as this speech. And she talks about things that need to happen not only in Houston, in the world, to see, to make happen. She was running for mayor at that time. And she knew she was sick during the time she was running for mayor.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember that. But
that speech, man, and she talks about the vision for the future.
Well, you just doing it.
No. Now we're gonna create. So I told Sheila we're gonna
Hall of Fame.
We're gonna do the Walk of Fame.
Okay.
In Houston, Texas, and build a monument and build a
that's
museum.
dope. That's dope.
Right. So I started building the sketches. He loved it and everything. So Juneteenth, she signed the proclamation for her, but she was getting sick.
Yeah.
A week later, she died.
Oh man.
So we did a huge. During that time, I got her on the phone, and I'm doing what we normally do because she's done it the last few years. She got on the phone because she couldn't be there in person.
Right.
And I thought I was doing, hey, this big unveil, but that was actually the last tribute where she ever was going to be there.
Wow.
Because she died a few weeks later.
Yeah. So what's called, man? That God bless the dead. Sylvester Turner, I believe
he took it up.
He took her spot.
And he actually helped me start the 40 Acre Conferences before. The reason we got the post, it was a brand new venue that hadn't been built, because I was going to do it at a hotel at first.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, I got with his office, he told me to do it at the post.
Okay.
Before it was even built. So we're the first conference to ever rent out the whole post.
Oh, that's dope.
So everything comes around full circle. So during that time, and her whole, so we're going to do a monument to Sheila Jackson Lee for this for the Juneteenth Walk of Fame this June, and I'm gonna announce it, but this isn't gonna come out for a little bit. But I have a black architect.
Okay.
That built. He's gonna speak on Sunday. He built the hip hop museum in Bronx.
Okay.
We're gonna work with him on this.
On that, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. So let me have. Because you mentioned it, you have the conference that's coming up, Martin Luther King. So this is going to air Monday. So it's from the 17th to the 20th, right?
17th to the 20th, something every day. So I'll give you the run of show. So the 17th, we have the golf tournament, which a lot of brothers don't play golf, but I've learned, get on the golf course. That's where a lot of big deals happen.
That's right. Better.
Even if you don't know how to play, just get out there, buy some drinks, and
have that conversation.
Have some conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Then we have our gala that night. That's the iconic awards gala. In our prototype of the AI Hub of what we're going to do, it's a fully immersive venue. You can see everything on all the walls. It's the dopest thing you've ever seen. The floor is projected. We're going to end up building one 4 times as big as that at the Juneteenth Hall of Fame. We're going to build it in the middle of the city. The next day we have a mental health summit. And we have a bunch of people in. Yeah. We have an AI pitch competition.
Okay.
Which AI is my business, right? On my name, AI is my game. 40 Acres is my fam. So we're going to do that. I have Marcus Bowers. You probably know him.
Yeah.
Right?
She's happy here?
She's happy here.
Yeah.
He got a $100 million award at her last conference.
Right?
Because he's made $100 million in his business. And he's really big on AI. We're actually going to go on tour together.
Okay.
Later on across the world. But he's headlining that as our host. We have a couple iconic startups, some investors. We're going to really turn this into an AI hub in Houston. The next day, I have $5 million panels, of course, starting from my mama. We have a church service going on in the morning. And then we have $5 million panels. And then I have a celebrity fashion show at the end.
Okay.
Which is huge. There's a lot of people in town. People will pull up, have Lamborghinis. There's going to be a Lamborghini in there. and then the next day we're doing the parade. And the crazy thing about the parade, and I've got my hand slap on this because I'm not from Houston, and I guess to Houstonians this is normal, but there shouldn't be two parades, man. In Houston, segregated. Come on, man.
It's always been like that.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not from Houston, so that doesn't make sense to me. And the people from Houston say, "Hey, man, just leave that alone." So we've awarded both of them.
Okay.
Right, and trying to get them to come together. People say that it's not going to happen. They don't even know why they're beefing anymore.
No.
That's 35 years.
Right.
Right. So it's like the monkey's in the tree. Why don't we go? Well, it's always been that way. That's not a reason to, right?
To continue the same behavior.
Yeah, it's like racist people. Like, why do you not like black? Well, my dad didn't like
my
it.
grandma
Grandpa called them.
Right.
That's not it. What are we doing?
Oh no, I get it.
So we're gonna eventually get that together, but we're awarding both of them. Both of them are doing great things, man. Charles Stamps, what he's done, the Black Heritage Society. So we actually support both. I buy spots at both.
Okay.
I buy a float in one. I buy the City Hall thing at the other. So we support it both. Just like even before, I've learned to support people. Like you say, hey, I want something.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, let me spend money with you on.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
Let me support you on this. Because they always remember that.
Yeah, there's nothing you can say to that.
Right.
You can't say, I don't know, man.
Right.
Look, you're telling everybody, I just want
to. Okay. Yeah, that's dope, man. That's what month is this? January. That's January 17th to the 20th. We talking about the MLK.
To the 20th, yeah. And then what we've started to do is we're doing, after that we go on tour. So the last Sunday of every month we go to we're doing different cities. So in February we're doing Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I launched my book.
Oh, y'all going big, man. You're going to Dubai, man.
Well, here's the thing. I had to launch like AI. I go to where people appreciate what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that from Master P. Right? Because when he was in
New Orleans. He didn't accept
it. He had to leave to California and go to other places, and they're like, "Oh man,
like Jesus,
you got to get hot other places."
Yeah, because you're not accepted in your own time.
Not accepted.
Yeah.
They're just like, "Oh, that's just."
Right, that's Lil Pete.
Yeah,
around the corner.
Around the corner.
Yeah,
you don't have any value, man. We know you since you're around the way.
Right. He had to go to Texas. Or Richmond, California.
California. You got big in California is big. So if you get big in Dubai they're like, what do you know about AI? Well, boom. I'm in the largest rooms with the biggest players, with the CEOs of like NVIDIA, right?
Mm-hmm.
The people, OpenAI with Sam Altman and those people, and Gen AI, which, you know, I'm a VP actually, one of the largest AI followings in the world, over 8 million followers. So
what's so big about, before we get out of here, I want to ask, what's so big about AI? Because you have so many components that AI could tackle, from the electronical side, from the security side, from the logistical side, from operational side. It's so many sides you could attack AI. But what's so important about AI? Because it's so many components of it. It's like tentacles, right?
You know the biggest thing about AI for our people?
What is that?
Fear.
Okay. Just allowing it to come into your life.
You don't know where to start. That's why we always end up as consumers. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. And then you're like, once it makes sense, all the land's bought up.
That's true.
And AI is one of those things, right? If you don't know how to use it, if you don't know you're in an AI revolution right now, you're going to be a victim to it.
Right. Yeah, I get it. You have to revolutionize on the front end if you want to be part of the game. Mm-hmm. Or you're going to be part of the game.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Or part of the product.
A part of the product,
So
yeah.
You understand, like, the way social media platforms are built, there are people that influence it, and there's people that are just part of the product. So people that join social media and everything, oh, let me see, I don't know, let me get on. A lot of people social, I don't know, man, let me just see. You're just part of the ad spin for somebody else.
Right. That's true.
Right? Because you're just dipping your toe in.
Well, it goes back to the ratio. the 5%ers. You got the 5%, you got 10%, you got the 85%. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be that. It's gonna be the 5% that knows, that has the keys, has the information and knowledge. You're gonna have the 10% telling the 85% about the 5%.
Yep.
You're gonna tell the 10% telling the 85% not to invest to the 5%.
100%.
To keep them distracted.
I see that even in traveling. Like, I'll ask people, hey man, what's going on? I remember when I was going to South America, because I used to have a whole team down in South America, in Colombia.
Okay.
Like, oh man, don't go to Colombia. Why? Well, man,
Why?
Didn't you hear about what happened in Colombia? Have you ever been to Colombia? Oh no, man.
Right,
but I heard.
oh man, come on, stop.
We good. I'm going to Colombia.
No, I get that. I understand that.
You ain't never been there?
And
You gonna tell me?
I heard.
Come on.
That's like I had a barbecue or something. You know, back.
I heard, man. You ain't heard what happened. God.
Now you heard. I heard. This is what I. You know, you heard. Which one?
To Dubai, man. That's...
So look. So what would you tell people that want to register for the conference? How can they register for the conference? What websites, what social media platforms they need to go into to go into the conference?
Yeah, so our if you just follow us on any platform, like, we're multifaceted. We're not just sitting on one. So you can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on our website. But if you type in 40 Acre Conference on Google, if you go to @40 Acre Conference on Instagram, if you follow us on LinkedIn, you'll see the 40 Acre Conference somewhere. And I'd say just get in the room.
Yeah.
So many people are scared. It's like, oh man, what if it doesn't what? Most of us on MLK Day are either just doing a barbecue. A barbecue's not going to do anything for you.
At all.
Come with us and barbecue. We got some good stuff. We got some black vendors, right? Come support them. Go buy their barbecue and get some good information and meet some people that can change the trajectory of your life.
That's real, man. Because I'm gonna tell you a fun fact. It's like they have this saying that quarterbacks are not made; they're born. I think that's the same thing about networkers. They are people that know how to network. They just know how to network.
Yeah.
You know, they could go to all these classes and whatever, teach them how to network. But if it's just not in you, it's not in you. Or hustle. Hustlers are born, not made. I can't teach you how to hustle.
No, you can't.
If you got it,
It's natural born talent.
you just got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but to talk about the conference, I think it's because I have some friends that's honorees in it, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity because it's here in Houston, one of the biggest hubs for diversity, and one of the biggest places for
in all the U.S., man.
opportunity. Here in Houston, man, there's so much opportunity here, man. It's crazy. Like in every field you want to do.
Just get in the right people, yeah. And so we're going to do a book signing.
Okay.
Whatever, if you don't know about AI, not only will you learn some AI, because I'm not an expert, I just know how to connect people.
Okay, so you're a connector.
I'm a connector, 100%. I have some of the brightest minds in the world. So Marcus Bowers, he's making $100 million, right, in business.
Yeah.
And how he's enhancing that with AI.
And he started it in 2000 and I believe 12.
Mm-hmm.
Was it in business 20 years?
Come on.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's for a young man like that.
Not even 12 years.
12 years, bro. They made $100 million in 12 years. That's
right?
crazy.
So if I want to know what he's saying, if you like, and our whole thing with the 40 Acre Conference is find your place and own it.
Okay.
Because everybody's not a hustler, and even if you're not a hustler, let's say you're because I'm like this, right? I'm a visionary. I'm a executor, but sometimes with the way that my personality makeup is, I may miss details.
Okay.
And there's other people that you need on your team.
Absolutely.
That are not hustlers, but they can see the little details, the gaps. But you don't want them going out and being the face.
Right.
You don't want them because they're gonna be like, man, what are we doing here? But when it comes to like the minute things, or when it comes to people's I talk about the 5 layers of AI, which is revolutionizing the way that people do things. In the next few years, So one of my mentors, and he'll be here. He's actually the signer for our awards this year. He's a billionaire, Michael V. Roberts.
Oh wow, dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
So his whole thing, he's a visionary. So he built in St. Louis, like the Ion here.
Mm-hmm.
He built that in the '80s in
Wow.
St. Louis. Yeah.
Wow.
So he owned like all the downtown stuff, like the way that Down Gilbert is doing in Cleveland. He did that in St. Louis.
Wow.
Him and his brother in the '80s and early '90s.
Wow.
And just cleaned all of that stuff up. He was a lawyer, he was a councilman. He knew how to work the government official angle to get the money that he needed, and he talks about that. So understanding politics, whether you're Republican or Democrat, understanding what politicians need to succeed is exactly what you need to succeed.
It's called money.
Right?
Money.
It's not only money, but they need prestige to help them get elected, to help them go get the clout, to help them go get the money that they need to bring back into the community. Then they need to deploy that community to look good to get reelected.
It's an art. It's an art too.
It's an art.
It's an art.
It's an art.
To go back to what we were talking about earlier, it's an art. It's a thing when you were speaking, and we got to get out of here because I got to go pay some bills. I call it the power of partnership. That's one. And the most valuable currency that we all have in life is not money.
It's relationships.
Time and relationships. Time we can't get it back, and we can't pay for it. And relationships is the same thing. You can't pay for a relationship. I know people who I could get in rooms, and people will pay that last dollar to get it, and they can't. I could get in without just making a phone call, and vice versa. But that relationship and time are the most valuable currencies that we have in life. Take advantage of them. Everybody should take advantage of that because that's all you got.
That's all you got, man.
You know what I mean?
A lot of times, like even you learn people that, and this has happened to me, right? I've built a 7-figure company and had 7 figures in accounts receivables, and you don't eat off accounts receivable, right? In the pandemic, and had to kind of pivot, and you think you're done, and man, this is more money than I can ever make again. And then things start to happen, but the relationships that you build are going to get you right.
Absolutely.
That's like billionaires.
Yeah.
I thought I was kind of tripping, like, man, I'm in this, and people owe me $1.3 million. I owe $600K. Like, how am I going to bridge this gap? They're not paying me. And then I sat down with Michael V. Robertson when he was talking to me, and he talked to me about 2008. 2008
Crash.
with the housing crash?
Yeah.
He owed $230 million.
He lost.
Owed.
To him, he never received it.
No, he owed that much.
Oh, he owed $230
and the note, right? Because if you own a lot of real estate, it's a gift, but it's a curse, right? Because if during the pandemic, a lot of people start paying their rent, so you get this huge influx.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you owe your $230 million upside down, and I'm tripping about $600K. There's always somebody that understands how to navigate bigger problems than you, and when you can get around them, your ceiling starts to grow.
You understand?
You start to expand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's easy. Ain't
that's
nothing.
it. Oh,
600 cows? No, yeah. How about 230 million?
230 million.
And man, you see them negative zeros behind you.
1% of people will never even see.
Yeah, that in their lifetime.
In their lifetime.
Their whole family.
The whole
Put together.
Entire.
Up to about generations. They would never see that.
So that's the kind of people you want to be around. You're like, man, how'd you? What?
Right.
I'm just trying to make to it, and you're saying
You owe
that was like that's a hole you had to get out of. That's the conversation.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things you're gonna see. The good thing from an impact standpoint, anything you come to the gala, you're gonna see a good award. You're gonna have some good food. We have a bunch of black liquor sponsors. It's gonna be open bar, so you're gonna have a good time. The value's gonna be there, but more importantly, it's a fundraiser. Buy a ticket.
Okay.
Don't sneak in the back door because here's what it is. A bunch of those throwaway kids that we talked about. This is the fundraiser to buy those laptops.
What can they donate? What can they donate?
Yeah, just go to our Instagram, buy a ticket. Even if you're not gonna go, buy a ticket and give it to somebody.
Yeah.
Because every ticket helps us buy another laptop for these kids. And a couple years ago, because I've spent a lot of my own money just keeping this going, I'm like, man, this is a lot of work. And then I'm gonna shut this down. You know how you're like, it's kind of like school. I'm gonna stop for a semester,
Yeah, I'm
right?
done. I'm done.
And then you really kind of done at that point. And I remember kind of being done after my fourth conference, and I'm like, man, this is just too much work. I'm spending too much of my own money. I'm not getting the support that I need. I remember one of those kids writing me a letter saying, thank you so much.
That's the recharge you need.
I was told that I was going to be dead or in jail, and now I got a full scholarship, and I'm doing, right? And I started getting, it wasn't just one, it was like 2, 3, 4 letters. I'm like,
yeah, that's the recharge you
I
need.
gotta do this.
You gotta keep doing it. You gotta keep
do
going.
this.
That was your water.
Because that was me.
Yeah, halfway mark.
That was me. If somebody would have dropped me, I'd be doing,
You doing God's work, man. And kudos to you and
you.
your team, your staff. I'm going to invest in it. I'm going to come out there, check them out. You know, I'm a master networker myself.
Yeah. And the network is incredible, man. You get in there, and these awards, once you see them, bro, they're incredible. Not just because we make them, not just because they're handmade. I got this new Impact Award inspired by my baby girl because her favorite color. Sometimes you'll hang around with kids and they'll inspire you. Because I used to have an Impact Award. I have a silver, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond award. And then I had a silver Impact Award.
Okay.
And my daughter was like, Daddy, why is the Impact Award the same color as the other silver award? And I said, well, baby, that's the way it is. She said, nah.
Yeah, change the color.
My favorite color is purple. She starts spray painting. I'm like, damn, that's purple. Like purple, oh, that's just inspired me.
Yeah.
Now we got this purple award and people are going crazy over them. So you'll see that. It's the first time we unleash that. So
kind of like the military. You get the Purple Heart.
you get the Purple Heart, right?
It's a heart, but it's a purple
You got a purple
ribbon.
heart for why I ain't never left the city. Yeah, like, yeah.
I got it, man. I like it, man. I'm gonna be there to experience it, man. I want you guys to do the same, man. Alan, before we get out of here, I want you to give the social media where they could find all the information one more time, and